This is a 52-inch Hunter original ceiling fan dated January of 1996. It has 5 blades, 3 speeds, electrically reversible. Pulled this out of a house in Austin a couple months ago, and really it's in amazing shape. I mean, there's really nothing at all wrong with this fan, inside or out. Cosmetically, it's one of the best conditions I've ever found one in. The only exception being the blades were covered and had just a little bit of grease residue on them. Probably the fan was installed near a kitchen, but I was able to get a whole lot of that off. I'll go ahead and start it on low. May start off just a little bit too fast, but to get to speed, it's probably going to run about 50 RPM, maybe just a little bit faster. And even for a fan that's about 19 years old, I'm amazed at just how little warpage there is on these blades. The newer ones anyway, the blades warp somewhat easily, so I'm kind of surprised they're in such good shape they are, especially after the lengths I had to go to clean them. And that's going to settle right about 50 RPM or so. We'll go ahead and bump it up to medium. Those who haven't seen my fan videos before, I usually put a little bit of indicator tape on one of the brackets so you can kind of see how fast it's going as far as RPM is concerned. Medium's going to go about 140. Some of the later made American originals that have a rather slow low speed, the medium is pretty close to the high. It's not, they were about the mid 80s, a little bit later on, the speeds are pretty much spaced out. They pretty much added a low speed to the existing 2 speeds the 70s and early 80s originals had. They kind of, I guess probably, I would figure around the time they went to 5 blades, they increased the medium speed. For what reason, I have no idea, but pushing a lot of air as is. So it's going to about 140 RPM or so. We'll go ahead and bump it up to high. High again is probably about 180, 190 or so. Pretty typical for Hunter originals. They're pitched at 15 degrees, so there's all sorts of air coming off. These Hunter originals are extremely powerful fans. About this time period, they were listed as about 11,000 CFM. It's definitely one of the strongest fans on the market. Could have been the strongest without going to the industrial fans, but these Hunter originals, they move a lot of air, they're built well, keep them oiled, and they will last for decades. I'll go ahead and power it down real quick, and we'll reverse it here momentarily. The blades are white on both sides. The last pair of fans I put on eBay, those 4-blade fans I had, they were white on one side and the washed oak on the other side, which is pretty common, but these are white on both sides. Again, this fan is in just such great shape cosmetically. I mean, I don't know that I've had one in this good shape, and those other 2 that I sold last week were pretty nice condition themselves. This one actually, the build quality might be a little better on it. The paint job on those other 2, I wasn't crazy about. I mean, as good shape as they were in, it's just there are a little bit of details on it that didn't seem like they were that well done. But this one, the paint's in great shape. There's no overspray. I really can't say if there's anything wrong with it. This fan came on a 1-foot-long down rod, and the short down rod I have on it now came off of an older fan from the 80s, and so it's in a little bit worse condition. But like I said, with the canopy on it when you have it installed, it's not going to be noticeable, but I do have the foot-long down rod in case you want to bring your fan down a little bit lower too if you're the winner of it on eBay. I'll go ahead and reverse the fan now and we'll look at it briefly. And as with the other fan, I'm not going to put it on reverse for a long period of time, but I just want to show you that all 3 speeds do in fact work on reverse. The speeds are going to be the same as on forward in both directions. There's medium and there's high. So you can see that the speeds, that the fan does run on all 3 speeds, both directions. And there you have it. Again, this has been a 52-inch Hunter original, this one being from January of '96. It's a great fan. If you're able to find one or purchase this one on eBay, then it will last you a lifetime. Hunter did not mess around with this one. They built it the same way for 80, 90, 100 years, and you can't get them like this anymore. The current original is manufactured overseas. It's still a great fan, but it's not like these earlier ones. So thanks again for watching. If you're bidding on this, happy eBaying and good luck to you. And I will definitely have more fans coming this summer. Thanks a lot. All right, one very, very important detail I forgot to mention when I was doing this video was that this fan can be used with 4 or 5 blades. Hunter offered this option in case you wanted to go with a more traditional look. You know, since most of the fans before the 90s were produced with 4 blades only, they offered this to kind of stay within tradition. What happens is there's an inner ring of holes in the rotor, and if you want to use 4 blades, you just put 4 of them in the center ring of holes. I'll go ahead and start it off on low for you. I'll run through all 3 speeds again. May run just a teeny tiny bit faster. The speed difference is not as noticeable on these originals that have the heavier motors as they might be with a smaller, like a stack motor or an imported spinner motor. Low's going to run right about the same, maybe just a shade faster than it did on with 5 blades. As I said, with such a heavy motor, the speed difference isn't going to be that noticeable. This also might come in handy if you won the previous auction that had one of these fans that just had 4 blades. You want another one to match it. Well, you can get this one. You can install it with 4 blades, or you can go with all 5. It's really up to you. Medium goes quite a bit faster than it did with 5. I want to say it goes about 150 or so. And you can already hear the wind noise coming off of it. We'll go ahead and put it on high. High's going to go at least 200 RPM. So you might be able to get a little bit more air movement out of it with 4 blades than you would with 5. There's arguments either way. Especially with fans with lighter motors, you're more than likely to get more air movement with the fewer blades you put on it. But that's a debate that's widely held. Really, with the Hunter original, it's really more your aesthetic preference than anything else. However many blades you put on it, you're going to get a lot of air movement because of just how well built this fan is. And we'll go ahead and stop it. I'm not going to bother running it on reverse because you already know from watching this far that it does run on all 3 speeds in both directions. But I thought I'd go ahead and add this in to show you what it looks like with 4 blades. So again, this has been a Hunter original from 1996. If you're on eBay, happy bidding. Thanks again for watching.